There is nothing wrong with the system as at today, but the implementation, because of the human factor, we have problem with the standard.
In the 90s, education was so much interesting because, children were taught moral, religion, and education.
On the 1st of October 1960, thousands of Nigerians gathered at Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos to celebrate our independence. So today on BattaBox, you will have the opportunity to learn what transpired in Nigeria before independence. So stay tuned.
The name Nigeria was taken from the Niger River running through the country, and it was coined by Floral Shaw, a British journalist in the late 19th century. It was formerly referred as a colonial Nigeria before independence. Nigeria can be traced to prehistoric settlers living in the area as early as 1100 BC. Numerous ancient African civilizations settled in the region that is today Nigeria, such as the Kingdom of Uri, the Benin Empire, and the Oyo Empire. The Songhai Empire also occupied parts of the region. The British prohibited slave trade in 1807, and that was the time Nigeria's influence began to be noticed on global scale. This also marked the end of the famous Edo Kingdom. Lagos was invaded by British forces in 1851 and formally annexed in 1861. Nigeria became a British protectorate in 1901. Colonization lasted until 1960, when an independence movement succeeded in gaining Nigeria its independence.
In the 60s, students are more committed. They are after distinctions. They are disciplined. But nowadays, the discipline has gone down, even at home. And that has affected the performance of students in the school. Teachers are no more committed as before.
1960, we got the independence. It was a very lovely, full of fun, full of joy, because then we got our freedom from the white, but we are still using the same money, that 1960. That is pounds and shillings. So we have equal amounts. It wasn't like as it is now, where you exchange dollar, pounds at high rate. We are not using naira, and the economy was buoyant. You can get things cheaper. Like the salary was not much, but with the little salary you are receiving around that 60, you can buy whatever you want to buy easily.
Education was so much interesting because, children were taught moral, religion, and education generally. So we respect our teachers then. Our teachers are mini-God to us. We give them more respect than our parents, because when we hear about our teacher coming, we run. We don't wait. Or if peradventure your teacher is able to see you, what you need is to kneel down, greet them, comport yourself, not being like what we are saying now.
Nigeria became politically independent on the 1st of October 1960 at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, and she made her first appearance on the international arena on the 8th of October 1960.
By 60, the Independence Day, school were giving food free of charge, the building, the writing materials like books, pencil, cleaners, even slate for junior ones were free of charge. We were not paying anything for school then, and you enjoyed the best. Teachers were hardworking, dedicated, teaching well. When you go to school, you pass your G2, you can easily get to secondary school or modern school. There was modern school then, 3 years course.
Economy then was okay with the level of understanding in Nigeria. Because when the British left, they left with a standard that was okay with what we had. In Western state, we were managing our cocoa, cola nut, and coffee. In Midwest, we had palm oil, which we were managing. Then in the East, we had coal and some other things. In the North, they had groundnut and they had cola nut. All these things were managed by the leaders. And with the little we had then, we were able to have free education in the West, up to secondary school. And not only that, we had farm settlements that were helping people. Even the first broadcasting corporation was brought to Nigeria in the Western state. Another factor is the political situation. In the 60s, politicians were after what they can render for people and the state. There were competition in the regions. That was why Awolowo went out to make Western state a standard.
At that time of Awolowo coming on with Obga and all those knots, but it wasn't as violent. We don't have thugs and all those area boys mixing themselves with politics. We don't have such. We know they have some kind of rivalries in politics, but it's not as suicidal and violent as we are having it. And then it doesn't really involve young ones, as it is now, where you have both university students, secondary school students, even up to primary students, involving them in hooliganism, running after them for chicken money. No. We youth, we face our education then.
History had it that in the 60s, Nigeria became the largest producer of rubber, groundnuts, palm oil, and the largest producer of cocoa, among others. Nigeria's first national development plan had a very strong focus on agriculture. But in the 70s and 80s, the petroleum revenue came in, and with the lack of attention to agriculture, the country started to decline in policy support and public funding for agriculture. There was also a strong decline in domestic production and rising level of dependence on agricultural imports.
There are a lot of development. We had cocoa board in Lagos State, and we were exporting cocoa. We were doing everything successfully, and Nigeria was reckoned with then. But now that we had oil boom, we abandoned all the cocoa industry. We abandoned our cola nut. We abandoned the groundnut from the north. We didn't bother about the mineral resources like cement in Ewekoro. We left all those things. And unfortunately, we based everything on oil. And at that point in time, we became a prodigal son. The farm settlement in Western State, we were wiped off. I've told you right from the onset, Nigeria is the luckiest country in the world. I will say that I can repeat that and can maintain it. All the things that other countries were looking for, we have it in Nigeria. We have, as we are saying, we still have mineral resources that can keep Nigeria for the next 100 years.
In Nigeria, those in charge of lights, they are not doing it to satisfy the common people. There will be no light, they will give you heavy bill. I can't say my own out now that they just brought to me. Without having factory, how can I be paying 80,000? So you can see that the problem of Nigeria is in the hand of those that are running the government. They've looted all our resources and transfer to make the European comfortable. If we at this stage and you that our next generation are not finding it easy, how will the next future be? We are now saying, if you ask this, everybody has become manager of poverty. Managing this, managing that, managing home, managing no job. So graduates are now coming out in thousands. No factory developing, no company coming up, no job for them, roaming about, looking for a way of yahoo or kidnapping or whatever to get money, because there is nothing for them to do. So the generation we are now expecting, what will they meet unless there is revolution?
And then our youth should be contented with what they have. They should not be lazy. They should work very hard. If this one is not working, try another thing. And you know, most of us, when we get retired, we sit down at home, sit down, they look. And whereas it shouldn't be so.
Now, let me come to an area of this future generation you are talking of. Right from home now, we need to take care. Like, look at computer, electronic computer and all these things that were introduced. Internet and all that's good. They are good things, but they have been abused by Nigerians. And these are the people that are coming up. You will see that we have now what they call Yahoo Plus, Yahoo this, Yahoo that, and abuse to the computer system. Computer system that the people in the British, the Americans are enjoying and they are using for their progress, for the development of their economy. You will see that in some areas now, they don't use papers. Most of the things they are using are on the computer. Almost all are now on computer. Then, if all these things, these things that we are having, if they are well managed, and our children are using it for the progress of the country, they don't go for shortcut. Because the problem we have, even in the schools, in private schools now, they are struggling to be the best through shortcut, special centers, cheating, and many other things. All these are enemy of progress. If all these things are eradicated, Nigeria will be better. They can be eradicated if you have a good leader. If the head is rotten, the whole body will be rotten.
He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Education makes people easy to lead, but difficult to drive, easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. Since healthcare and education are ingredients for the rapid growth rate of the economy, could the sick or the uneducated and unskilled contribute to the growth rate of the economy? The answer depends on you and I.
So, do you have experience about what transpired in the 60s? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep watching BattaBox. I am Odunwayo Oti, and this is
BattaBox.